I deem it a great privilege to have been given this opportunity of sharing with you some thoughts on the subject of Islam and other religions. I can safely divide, or we can safely divide the religions of the world into two major groups. One we might describe as the Aryan religions, and the other the Semitic religions. Among the Aryan religions, I would count Buddhism, Hinduism, and Zoroastrianism. Among the Semitic religions, of course, there would be Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The last three, the Semitic religions, they, from the Muslim point of view, they have a common origin. And we in Islam, we do not really think that these three are different. According to the Muslim belief, there is no such thing as Judaism and there is no such thing as Christianity. We term them all Islam, meaning the teachings of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, we say was Islam. And the propounders, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, they were Muslims. Now, when the question arises, what do you think of Judaism? Is it a concoction? What do you think of Christianity? It doesn't exist. We say, no, what it means is that we believe that the teachings of these three great personalities, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, was one. And the terms Judaism or Christianity, the terms didn't exist in the lifetimes of the people, who were supposed to have propounded this faith. For example, if Moses was alive with us today, and if we questioned him, if we could, said, "Oh Moses, what is your religion?" I personally do not expect him to say that my religion is Judaism, because this is a term which Moses never heard. This word Judaism is not in the Old Testament, or the Torah, or the Jews, or the Talmud, or the Mishnah. It is not to be found anywhere. Now, how does this word come about? Where does this term Judaism come from? I believe that when the Jews, when they conquered Palestine, Palestine was divided among the tribes, each tribe occupying a certain specific area. And the children of Judah, the eldest son of Jacob, the area which he occupied was known as Judea. And the people from the outside, they said, or they described, that the religion of the children of Judah in Judea is Judaism. And this term, the Jews seem to have taken a liking to it and they accepted it. But search for it in the Old Testament, the word is not there. The whole of the Old Testament. It's said in the Torah, it's not there. In the Mishnah, it's not there. In the Talmud, it's not there. This is how the word originates. But Moses, we expect him to say that my religion is a religion of total submission to the will of God, which is a very lengthy but beautiful definition of what he was out to do, to preach the religion of God to mankind. A religion of total submission to God's will. One word for that in the Arabic language is Islam. When we come to Christianity, the same principles apply. That Jesus Christ, in his lifetime, he didn't hear the word Christianity, nor did he say, "I'm a Christian." If he was with us here today in his second coming, and if we could have the privilege of questioning him, said, "Oh Jesus, what is your religion?" I do not expect him to say Christianity, because if he did, I might ask him further, "What church do you belong to? Are you a Roman Catholic, or a Dutch Reformed Church, or a Seventh-day Adventist, or a Jehovah's Witness? What Christianity you belong to?" So in other words, I expect Jesus to say that my religion is a religion of total submission to God's will. And one word for that in the Arabic language is Islam. Islam, the word Islam comes from the word salam. Salam means peace, literally. In its religious connotation, Islam means a religion of total submission to the will of God. And the one who submits to such a system is called a Muslim. Again, the root word comes from salama, to submit, peace, achieve peace by submitting to a higher authority. And we who follow the religion of Islam, we say we are Muslims, meaning we have submitted our will to the will of God. Whatever He wants us to do, we are prepared to do. He says, according to the information we have received through Muhammad, that we shall not worship any other God but Allah. So we say we accept. We are told that we must accept Muhammad as a messenger of God. We accept. Say we mustn't touch alcohol. We will not. Say we can't eat pig. He says no, we won't eat it. He says don't gamble. We say we won't gamble. We must fast for one whole month. So that we will fast. Everything that we are told, we say, we claim that we submit. And one word for that is Muslim, means one who has submitted. So we say Muhammad was a Muslim, we are Muslims. Jesus was a Muslim, and the Quran describes his disciples were Muslims, meaning they submitted their wills to the will of God. Muslim doesn't mean the follower of Muhammad, it means one who has submitted. In the garden, if you remember, Garden of Gethsemane, Jesus Christ, he cried to his Lord and he said, "O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass away from me, but not as I will, but as thou wilt." Now that, not as I will, but as thou wilt, one word for that would be Muslim. He submitted. Whatever God wants him to do, he is prepared to go through with it. So we say, Moses was a Muslim, Jesus was a Muslim, Muhammad was a Muslim. Abraham was a Muslim. Anyone who submits his will to the will of God is a Muslim. And the religion which they all follow is Islam. Now, with regards to the religious books, these three great religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, the two are contained in one book, Judaism and Christianity, the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is the Bible of the Jews, the Old and the New put together, the Bible of the Christians. Then we Muslims, we say that if there is such a thing as an Old Testament, and if there is such a thing as a New Testament, we say that there is such a thing as a Last Testament. You see, the Jew, he comes at the end of the book of Malachi in the Old Testament, and he puts a full stop. He doesn't want to know anymore. Whatever God wanted to give, he has given him through the prophets, the Old Testament. The Christian feels that the Jew is doing injustice to himself by not coming a step forward into greater knowledge and revelation of God. The Muslim says the same thing to the Christian. He says, you too are doing the very same thing that the Jew is doing. You come to the end of the book of Revelation, you also put a full stop. So why don't you come forward a step further and look into this last and final revelation of God, which we say is contained in the Holy Quran. Now religiously, there is great affinity between these three religions. They are, we say, the same religion, but on different levels. In the fundamentals of these three religions, there is not an iota of difference, as taught by the prophets, as taught by Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. If we take the first commandment of the Jews, the first commandment, in Hebrew, this is what it sounds like. The Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, which means literally, hear, O Israel, the Lord, O God, the Lord is one. This is the first commandment as given by God through Moses and as recorded in the Old Testament. When we come to Jesus, we are told in the Gospel of St. Mark that a learned man of the Jews, described as a scribe, a learned man, he comes to Jesus and he questions, said, Master, in the Hebrew language, is a rabbi, a learned man, a priest. Master, what commandment is the first of all? And Jesus answers and says unto him, I'm quoting, in the Hebrew language, Shema Israel Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, which means, again, Hear, Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. He repeated word for word what was given by Moses some 1300 years before, without the change of a dot. When we come, Muhammad, 600 years after Jesus, he is confronted by a delegation of Christians. A deputation came from an area called Najran, outside Medina, and these Christians were questioning him with regards to theology and the teachings of Muhammad and the revelation that he had received. And during the course of the discussion, the spokesman for the Christian posed the question, "O Muhammad, what is your concept of God?" And Muhammad was made to say, as we believe, we Muslims believe, that Muhammad was inspired by God. He was made to utter words as they were put into his mouth. So he was made to say, as it is contained in the 112th chapter of the Holy Quran, "Qul huwallahu ahad." Say, He is God, the one and only. The last word. Ahad. Ahad means one and only. Jesus said Echad means one and only. Moses said Echad, which means one and only. What is the difference between these three? Actually, it's the same word meaning the same thing. The Hebrew language is said Echad, Arabic is Ahad. And if I write that on the board, it's an amazing thing. If I write Ahad, I want to make it Echad, I just put a dot. That's all. That makes it Ha into the Kha. Ahad, Echad. Meaning the one and the same thing, which means in the fundamentals of the teachings of Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, we say no change at all, as given by the prophets. Then in the teachings also we find a relationship, that each is an evolution of the previous teaching. For example, you see the children of Israel, they came out of the Egyptian bondage, and they were moving into the Sinai Peninsula for 40 years, a wandering people, moving from oasis to oasis. And under those circumstances, the Jews were given a law, a very beautiful law, which was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Quick justice. If you injured my eye, I injure yours. Move on, there's work to be done. You broke my tooth, I break yours. There's justice to be done. Move on, there's work to be done. There's no time for lengthy litigations. There's no time for putting a man in concentration camp or prison. Eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Beautiful law. A Jesus or a Muhammad couldn't have done anything better in the wilderness for these people. Suppose instead of Moses it was Jesus, what would he have given? I said the same. He couldn't have told them to turn the other cheek. See, because it was uncalled for there in the desert. If it was Muhammad instead of Moses, what would he have said? I say word for word the same. Because it's coming from the same God. We believe that God Almighty was inspiring Moses to give solution to the problems of his people. The names of that personality doesn't matter. Whatever the name, the teaching would have been the same according to the needs of the people. Adultery. Moses gave the law that the adulterer and the adulteress must be stoned to death. If it was Jesus, he would have done the same thing. If it was Muhammad, he would have done the same thing in the desert. Now this, though it seems very harsh and cruel to us, this was the most merciful way of getting rid of an antisocial character, an adulterer. Because the system as given by God Almighty to these Jews was a system in which they could have had limited number of wives, unlimited number of wives. You know, Solomon had 1,000 wives and concubines, and God didn't say one word against that. Almost every prophet mentioned in the Old Testament had more than one wife. David, Jacob, he married 2 sisters at the same time. Abraham, he had altogether 3 wives. And so on. Almost every prophet you name, he had more than one wife. And God didn't say one word against that system. And a system which allowed unlimited number of wives. Why must you go and interfere with somebody else's property? Can you see the logic of it? I mean, if one was not enough, you take number 2. If 2 is not enough, take 4. If 4 is not enough, take 40. Why do you have to go and despoil somebody else's property? that person is an antisocial character, and the best thing to do with him is kill him and make him an object lesson for others. See? So it's a very cruel thing. Stoning a person to death. You can imagine. It's a slow, painful death. And this was to be done in public. Not hidden away somewhere behind the wall, say in Victoria, what they call it, death row. No, where nobody knows what's going on. No, bring the guy to the marketplace. The whole community gathers. You see this adulterer and this adulteress. This is justice being meted out to them. Suppose we were there. This is not for me. Would you like to go through that? So can you see now? I said, if Jesus or Muhammad couldn't have done anything better in the wilderness. It was a beautiful law for a nomadic people. But laws have a tendency to change the characters of people over a period of time. Any law. Well, let's take our own law. We are living in a color-conscious country. Everything is based on color. And I can tell you my experience. For 40 years I've been talking to people. I love to talk. I love to talk. I love to share with people my thoughts and what little God has given me of my food. And let me tell you that I have invited hundreds of whites to my home. I invited Africans and colors and Indians, but I'm talking specifically about the whites. Hundreds of whites, businessmen, learned men, priests, theologians, hundreds of them. And they come and enjoy my hospitality, they enjoy my food. Our food is good. The food that we cook. I tell you, the white man, he laps it up, he relishes it. The Afrikaner, he loves it. And the color of the African, nobody can resist the food that we offer. Am I right? You see, everybody loves our food. Maybe the way we put our spices and the way we cook, the aroma that comes from our pots, you just can't, irresistible. So the white man and the woman, they enjoy my food and they enjoy my talk. Because whatever I'm talking is from an angle which they might not have seen before. Because it's something novel to them. So they enjoy the talk and they enjoy the food. And they thank me profusely when they part. And subsequently when I meet them in the streets, they shake hands with me. How is Mr. Deedat? How is the family? Convey my regards to the missus. But no white man, by God I tell you, no white man in 40 years has invited me to his home for a cup of tea. I am asking my European people that I can talk to. Look, I'm not trying to score any points against anybody. But I'm asking, don't you people know how to reciprocate? In your culture, in your civilization, is there no such thing as reciprocation? There is. There is. You do reciprocate, I know. Among yourselves, you do. You invite one another to your homes. But at the back of your mind, to invite a black man to your home, something else is involved. You personally may be a saint walking this earth, an angel walking this earth, but at the back of the mind, the laws of the country, color, has knocked into your psyche. That thought that, look, this bully coming to an elite area in Durban North, one Sunday morning, looking for your home, number 10 Downing Street, and, with this funny headgear and this beard, looking for that number 10, and eventually he finds it. There are people watering the garden, there are people sitting on the verandas. What is this bully doing around here? And then, maybe, I find the house, I knock at the door, Mrs. Smith opens the door, and because she had enjoyed my hospitality, she's so happy. She says, come in, Mr. Deedat, come in. She means well. I go inside and we start chatting again, and religion is a deep subject, you might carry on for hours, and tongues begin to wag. What is that doing inside here? What are they doing? Running a shebeen or what? What is Mrs. Smith doing? What business is she in now? Or another relation of the family comes in, and finds this black man there, brown man. So my host will have to go out of his way to explain my presence there. He said, this is Mr. Deedat. When we went to his house, his family, they received us so well, and they gave us such nice food and what and whatnot. Oh, you're going out of your way, actually, to justify my presence there. You know it. You have to justify, what is this guy doing here in the house? So, to avoid all that, best thing is, Con my regards to the Mills, this is what it is. Laws have a tendency to change the characters of people over a period of time. In Hitlerite Germany, a nation so civilized, so cultured, the nation of Goethe and Beethoven, one of the most cultured nations in Europe, they could stoop down to incinerating 6 million Jews with a fact of fiction. The fact is, even 6 Jews. 6 million Jews, and this cultured nation, Christian nation, allowed it. As a people, 90 million Germans that were Christians, even if Hitler was an atheist. They allowed this massacre to take place. Why? Program, brainwashing. The Jews, Christ killers, kill them. They deserve it. So the whole nation, if inwardly you might have felt uneasy, but it says, well, they deserved it. They're getting it what's coming to them, but they've earned. 90 million Germans, they were quite happy with what happened. Laws have a tendency to change the characters of people over a period of time. 1,000 years and 300 between Moses and Jesus, the Jews, these very laws which were meant to mold the character and rule, create a happy community, those laws perverted the standards. They were told an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. So, if I was chasing the birds with that old-fashioned sling, the one that David used to kill Goliath, I was only trying to chase the bird. And by accident, injured a Jewish eye, another Jew, injured his eye. So he goes to the judge, and he says, you see this guy here? He damaged my eye. Lord him on, eye for an eye. Damaged his. So suppose I was that unfortunate Jew of the time, I would plead as says, look man, brother, I didn't mean to damage your eye. It was an accident. Forgive me. He says, no, but the law says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. I said, look, I'm prepared to compensate you. I'll give you a kid from the flock. I'll give you a heifer. Forgive me. He says, no, the law says an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. You see, he is going for the letter of the law and he's forgetting the spirit. So Jesus Christ, another spiritual physician among the Jews, he comes on the scene and he sees this perversion, this sickness, that they have gone for the letter of the law and they have forgotten the spirit. So wanting to bring them back to that wire media, the balanced road, he gives them another extreme as an antidote. It has been said by them of old time, Jesus said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say unto you, resist not evil. He who strikes you on the right cheek, give him the other. If a person takes away your coat, give me a blow also. Agree with thine adversary quickly, while thou art with him on the way. If a person makes you to walk 1 mile, walk with him 2. In other words, go to the other extreme. This is an antidote for a sickness, which is a beautiful antidote for a sickness. But we Muslims, what we say is this, that antidote will not work. Because you haven't got the sickness. Your sickness has changed. And as your sickness changes, the remedy must change. And in that change, we Muslims claim that Muhammad brought that last and final revelation of God Almighty. He has given us the law, and we say it is the fulfillment of the laws as given by Moses and Jesus. And Jesus Christ, he himself had foretold. In the Gospel of St. John, he says, I have yet many things to say unto you, to the Jews, many things. But ye cannot bear them now. In other words, you haven't got the capacity to grasp this knowledge. God has given it to him. He could have guided mankind for eternity till doomsday. But the people who were the recipients of that message were not fit to receive it, as he said. But ye, you, cannot bear them now. And the truth of that statement is writ large in the Bible. You read it again and again in the New Testament, in the Gospels. Jesus telling his disciples, ye of little faith. Ye of little faith. How many times? Again and again. He explains to them as he was explaining to little children, and they can't grasp the message. So he says, are ye even yet without understanding? And when he's provoked further, he says, oh faithless and perverse generation. This describing his disciples. How long shall I be with you? How long shall I be with you? I say, if Jesus was a Japanese instead of a Jew, he would have committed honorable harakiri. You know the way they gave him trouble endless with the Holy Father. They gave him endless trouble. Everything he's telling them, they misunderstand. They misconstrue. Everything. So he says, I have yet many things to say unto you, but ye cannot bear them now. Howbeit, when he, the Spirit of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. For he shall not speak from himself, but what things shall he hear, that shall he speak, and he shall declare unto you the things that are to come. He shall glorify me. Now we Muslims, we say that that Spirit of truth is Muhammad. He glorified Jesus to an extent that the Christian, when he listens to what the Quran says about Jesus, he falls on his back. He can't believe his ears. He thinks that the Muslim is hypocritical. Because when the Muslim says that we Muslims, we believe in Jesus, so we believe that Jesus was one of the mightiest messengers of God. We believe that he was the Messiah. We believe that he was born miraculously without any male intervention. We believe that he gave life to the dead by God's permission, and he healed those born blind and the lepers by God's permission. The white Christian feels that we are trying to scratch his back so he may scratch ours. You know, if I say a few good words about your Jesus, maybe you might say a few good words about my Muhammad. I said, look, maybe in the South African situation, you know, we might have a tendency to do that. Yeah, human, we are weak. And we Muslims in South Africa, our brothers here will confirm, we are a minority of a minority. The Indian is a minority. And in that minority, we are 1/5. We are a minority of a minority. We are very weak. In numbers, in everything, we are very weak. So as such now, if we flatter the whites, the Christians, to get some crumbs somewhere along the line, we could be excused.